We, when I spoke no Russian at this time at all, like at all, so I don't know what's going on. They're just talking, and I'm like, I have no clue. I had a translator who barely spoke English herself, and so I'm going into a doctor's office one day, and they, I don't know what I'm getting tested, and so they do the, is it the colonoscopy, and then the other one, down the throat. So they do that without any sedation. You have to, I don't, is that? Endoscopy? Endoscopy. That thing. So you have to bite on this thing, and it's like a mag flashlight that they like stuff down your throat, and they like studied this as I was, you know, tears coming down, everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. And usually I thought you're like sedated somehow. And then they're like, okay, now bend over. It's like, okay. I'm like, so with the same instrument, they do the colonoscopy, and so they're studying whatever they need to study in there, and I have like tears coming down. Like it hurt so bad, and they all start laughing. And I'm like, what's? And I asked my translator, like a tear, like, why are they laughing? They're like, we know now that you're not gay. Yeah. So I knew right then. I'm like, wow, what have I gotten myself into? I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. So then I went into the training, which was just the most intense, incredible adventure I'd ever been on in my life. It was crazy because I didn't have anyone to experience it with. My manager was there, but that was it. I lived in this army base where it was like their Area 51, it's called Star City. And everyone was just amazing. It's still like the Apollo days where they just took it out of the 60s and they haven't changed like anything. And it's like, if it ain't broke, they don't fix it. And you're still using like the Soyuz rocket, which is very uncomfortable. And just, I wish I could have had someone there to, like, see everything that's going on, because I've just never been worked that hard in my life, and learning all this, like, rocket science, and, you're physically training, like, every day, and, I lost up to, like, 30 pounds before coming back to the States. And throughout the training, things were going up and down, and of course, like, I didn't know it was a big story here in America that I didn't even know people knew I was like doing this training, and there was all this like talk and hype, and everyone thought it was a big hoax, and I wasn't even there, and I was like, no, I'm the one getting poked and prodded here. And so, towards the end of the training, I was just so happy, my dream's finally gonna come true, and it was about 2 weeks before the launch, and I'm already ready. I have my mission, I got my, my projects. Well, actually, about a month before the launch, one of the rockets that hold, it's called a Progress. It holds all your clothes and your experiments and all that type of stuff. No one's on it, just sends it up and goes to the ISS, which is the International Space Station that you live on. And it blew up on the launch pad, which scared the producers that were doing the documentary that we were working on. And then they couldn't get the insurance to indemnify the trip. So about a couple weeks before the launch, they completely scrapped my whole mission. I was devastated, and yeah, but I stayed and I finished the training. I can officially say I'm a cosmonaut, and I'm definitely gonna go one day. I just gotta find the right mission. But yeah, so that's still going. That's for sure gonna happen in my life. And then it wasn't until I got back, and I was going to get, back with the guys. We were about to start the new album. It had been 6 months, because that's the allotted time that I had. And I get back, and, Justin's still working a solo album, and he was like, oh, I'm going to need a few more months, and the other guys are working on different projects. I'm like, okay, this will be a good time for me to finally take a vacation. So it was about that time where it was weird, because I had never had any time off since I was 16. I didn't know anything except just being within sync and these guys, and I didn't really, I had my friends from back home that I grew up with, but, we just weren't as close as we were. So I quickly realized, like, I had hardly any, like, real friends and relationships and that type of stuff. So when I got back, I was kind of thrown into a world where I wasn't used to. And that's when I started, also realizing, and I mean, my whole life I knew I was gay, like my whole entire life. And, yeah. And, I mean, it's just something but it's something I also knew that I would have to hide, because the business is, You're always told, hey, you can't even be seen with a girlfriend, you know, or a beer in your